Welcome, everyone. This is Blake over at CMX Connect, Las Vegas. I'm on 2 hours of sleep, so I'll try to be good today. It feels like a lot of us, we work all the time, always on, all that good stuff. Just for today, we're just looking ahead to the month of March, all the cool stuff that's going on. Got a kind of fun slide deck. We've got some giveaways, all that cool stuff. We got people from all over the world that'll be here. I think we got Ilkin as well. So make sure, Ilkin, if you're not already there, I will ping you. You wanted to be in some of the giveaways. We've got a lot of giveaways today, including an Ilker giveaway as well. We've got very special guests. Before we get going, I'll just let our special speakers, we've got some surprises as well. I was trying to see if one of our surprises is checked in yet. So I don't see them yet, but I'll keep a watch out for that. But I'll let we've got some amazing people here that'll be speaking at part of this, but I'll just let them introduce themselves just so that everybody kind of knows who they are. So my name is Blake. I'm out of Las Vegas, or as we say, oh yeah. And really weird Kool-Aid references to start your day on a Friday, but why not, right? You're paying $20 for a joke. There you go. I will turn it over to my partner and host, worked at Google, one of the most amazing people, Ilker, and then after Ilker, we'll go to Michael. Michael is in one of the most talked about communities in the world, the manager over there, really amazing. Lori's out of CMX Denver and does a lot of amazing stuff with work. So I'll let Lori finish it off and then we'll get going. So if each of you want to just say a little bit about yourselves and introduce yourselves to the CMX audience. I know everybody knows Ilker, but there you go.
I hope my reputation doesn't precede me in that context. So hello, I'm Ilker. I'm connecting from Istanbul, Turkey, the center of the world, as the antiquity would call it. I'm the founder, the starter, so to speak, and then one of the co-hosts of CMX Connect Istanbul community. And I'm a regular contributor to the CMX world, and that's where I got to know Blake. So we try and support each other in our events and all sorts of other different things. And I'm always amazed by the great things that Blake is doing, as well as all the great speakers that he's actually being able to produce in these events, such as Michael and Lori and everybody else who's going to be joining. I'm very glad to be the one of the co-hosts. I mean, this is hopefully going to be very, very cool and useful for anybody coming in. As community managers, it goes without saying that we're supposed to always support each other, and of course, letting each other know about some cool things happening in the industry is one of those things. And let's turn it over to our esteemed guests. So there we go. So let's go by clockwise. Mr. Michael, how are you today?
Yes, thank you for the intro. My name is Michael Tharrington. I'm a senior community manager at Forum. We run dev.to, and Code Newbie, and we have a platform called Forum that several other folks are using to run communities. I use he, him pronouns. I'm in Pittsburgh, North Carolina. I've been in the community industry for about 6 years, maybe. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here, and it's good to meet a bunch of other community managers. Yeah, I haven't done this for a while. I hope anyone feels free to message me and ask me questions after the call too. I'm happy to help anyone that's in this industry. And I'll pass it to Lori. Thank you next, Lori. Thank you next is something we say at Dev often. So it's, yeah.
Good morning. I'm having animal. My cat would like to be part of the presentation. My name is Lori Goldman. I work in community at FordRock. My background is in technical communication and event management in addition to community. And we are kind of in an interesting place. Our community is changing, and it's still kind of in process. I joined CMX in January as a co-host, and I adore CMX. It's been incredible. I've done the community MBA and the player handbook, and I feel very, very connected and very supported in this community, and I feel very empowered to do my job as well. So, and I absolutely love CMX Las Vegas. They really have really shifted my perspective about what a webinar can be, and I feel very freed by it, and I want my webinars to be as fun and exciting as you guys' are. It's a really tall order and a very high bar, but I'm going to try. Open to connecting with anybody on LinkedIn. Happy to talk about whatever you'd like. Thank you.
And what's your cat's name? It's trying to say hello too, apparently.
Yes, she is. Her name is Pixie. She's 6. We have 2 cats and a dog. Yeah, she just likes whenever, for some reason she knows when it's showtime, and she's there, especially in like my morning scrum. She's like right there. It's like, it's time for me to just, I'm like, if you have something you'd like to say, you have 3 minutes, go. Anyways. So enough of that. So she says good morning to all.
Awesome. Well, so for today, it's great to meet all of you. So, I mean, obviously for everything you're doing, Lori's amazing. Ilker, Dev too, one of the biggest developer communities on planet Earth. They're getting close to 1 million. There's all sorts of amazing ways you can work with that team. Ella's in the chat. Ella's like the coolest name ever, right? It's like, man, it's such a cool name. We always talk about that stuff. So we will get going with we're going to have some giveaways throughout. We're going to have some surprises. I've got one surprise guest. I'm just kind of waiting to see if they'll join or not. But so if you see me a little bit distracted, we got one potential surprise guest for one of our speakers today. We've got one person that may show up to surprise you. So just we'll see how it goes, right? So, but yeah, so. Anyway, so for today, we're going to just, if you wanted to see really quick what all is going on in the month of March and community, let us know. You can also put what you're excited about into chat, things like that. We'll have a giveaway here pretty early on, but I'll just do a quick presentation. You'll have like me and Ilker in places to say some of it. So these are some slides, but don't worry, we'll back it out. We'll bring people up on stage. So this isn't some boring Ferris Bueller teacher type webinar deal. So let's start the presentation here. 1 second. All right. So everybody, you can see my screen, Ilker, all that stuff's good. Is it too small?
Need to hit the presentation mode.
Yeah, dang. All right. So I'll have to back out. No worries. All right. Whoa, it's like super small.
It happens in the presentations. I think there's going to be a little bit of a passepartout around the screen, so that's like normal.
It all looks good. Huh, weird.
We'll just have to see when the slides.
Yeah, it's just.
If you're going to be doing the just before we start, of course, Blake and I, we had the thought maybe it could be a little bit of a poll for everyone to see if you would like to hear some breaking news sort of music in the background as we read the news, if you like, some recurring sort of tense music coming up. Hopefully, well, we don't want any more tense in these days, but it could be something that we would like to hear from our audience.
Right. Yeah, those present slides aren't too great today. I don't know what's going on. They're a little bit smaller than they normally are, so I've definitely messed something up. But just for starting today, just the thoughts and prayers, and really with everybody in the Ukraine. So definitely want to just recognize that everything we can do to support there. And I think Ilker, you had like one thing in CMX Slack around Ukraine was something that people could get involved with. I didn't get a chance to read it. Is that right?
There are so many. We were just actually talking with Lori just before the event started. There are so many actions and initiatives started by the community, and one of them was of course, to try and mentor people out of Ukraine, not only perhaps for Ukraine, and this is one of the things that I was thinking, and perhaps some food for thought for all of us, for everyone that is affected by anything really that as collectively humanity we are actually faced with. So if there's some sort of a support network, maybe just mentoring people, or of course anybody who's listening to this, perhaps mentor someone who's been affected into moving into community management, because this is a capacity that we all have. We're all community professionals that we can actually guide them getting into this profession. This is one of the things that we try to do at CMX Connect Istanbul as well. So why not utilize for the people affected by anything really, which is what I was thinking. And maybe CMX or other organizations can actually start community management, let's say mentorship for good arrangement. And if anybody would like to contribute, they can always talk about that or support the cause at CMX Slack on the thread that has been started.
And so what I will do with the presentation, I will just, let's see. Is that better, Ilker?
Yeah, it is. We just see the slides on the left-hand side, but I think it's going to be better for people following up.
Okay. So sorry about that, little technical difficulties there. But yeah, so thanks everybody for joining. So today, doing the news today, go through this really quick. And just want to say that I have to confess that Beth is one cool cookie. So all praise to Beth, who runs the CMX Connect program, does a podcast at CMX and Bevy. Really amazing person. One thing you probably don't know about them is their name is actually pronounced Eth Bay, just like my name is not Blake. It's actually Block A. So it's really interesting. Looking ahead to March, we've got the March Metrics Madness going on, which we've got Lori here to talk about today. And then up next, we're going to pause, me and Ilker and Michael, we'll bring Mike up as well. We're going to sing the Gote song, Somebody That I Used to Know. Now and then, I think, okay, no, we're not going to do that. And then for the agenda today, we're going to take a look at everything happening in community in March in 2022. And just with all these events, we connect and celebrate all things community. So buckle in, get your seatbelts fastened, get ready. So we've got 500 miles per hour of community happening today. And we're going to start out with our first giveaway. So just do a quick screen share. This is a Ilker selfie coupon. This is free. We're giving it away for free. Can you believe it? Just do a quick screen share. If you see Ilker, you can redeem it, except when he's breakdancing, please, not then, right? So for CMX Connect Las Vegas, we regularly do amazing events. So always open for if you got ideas, pitch them my ways, or if you want to volunteer. Our guidelines for the day, as Michael from Dev Community and Ella would say, be sure you really like Fraggle Rock, right? So that's the most important thing that I'll give away today, other than supporting people in Ukraine for sure. We're very serious on that one. Be sure in chat, say hello, where you are, where you're from, drop your LinkedIn link, all that good stuff. Be comfortable. We love having everybody here, so grab your favorite snack or drink, and be sure to take the post-event survey at the end of it. Apologies for the tech issues today. And then CMX Connect. So we're over 60 chapters around the world. Our goals, connect, learn, advocate. We're growing the stuff out. We are powered by Bevy, amazing tool today. And then without further ado, here we go. March 2022 community news. So you can see a live look at me, Ilker, and Lori, and Michael jumping for joy as we start today. So it's an actual live look. And up first, we're going to do a quick wheel of names. So we're going to be giving away a free CMX Academy course. So if you're here, we are going to do a quick wheel of names. So let me just stop sharing, and then I will make sure, put in chat if you want to be part of this Academy giveaway, and we'll do that. So there's not too many people here. So let me just quickly get over to that tab. We are doing it all today on Wheel of Names. Woo! All right. So let me see. Who all do we have? And sorry, trying to do this live. Ilkin wants it. All right. Let's screen today. Okay. So we got Ilkin. Anybody else want to be in the running for the free academy course? Oh, so we've got a graduate of it. Oh my gosh. So Nick wants it as well. No pressure. So is it just Ilkin? Anybody else want to have it? Let's see. So we got 2 people speak now. So we will go with Ilk. We will go with that. So let's see who will win. Oh man. So you got, looks like it's going to be Nick is the winner. So very cool. And I think I actually have some more academy courses, so there are no losers today. So I will look to try to get you both. I think I get some extra ones for the academy. So don't hold me to it, but I will double check so that we can have Nick and Ilkin with the academy course. So thanks for being here today, Nick and Ilkin. So let me just come over here, back up on that screen. We're trying to do too much fun stuff here today, so I got to get better at the screen sharing. Apparently, all right. Whee. And so that was our first giveaway. Up first, just kind of like one thing just to note, in the big CMX event yesterday, so Bill Johnson has a new report out. It's called Community-Based Advocacy Analysis of 22 Leading Programs. So we'll drop a link to that into the chat, just so you can get that one. That's a pretty cool thing that just dropped. And now we're going to just talk quickly about some of the community events going on in March. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's like thousands of events like every day. So there's no way we could do all of those different things. But I just started off really quickly before I get it over to Michael. One of our alumni, Pablo Gonzalez, wanted to who kicked us off with our very CMX Connect, be the stage. He's going to be speaking at this Community Leaders Expo in Memphis. David Spink's actually, I think, the keynote speaker there. So anybody wants to go in person in Memphis, Pablo has a $200 off discount code, be the stage, 200. It's at CLIXevent.com. So we'll throw the link into chat. So that's a really cool one that's coming up. Alumni from CMX Connect Las Vegas. Up next, we have Michael Tharrington. He's a part of one of the largest developer communities on planet Earth. This is like Women's Month. International Women's Day is coming up. I know Ella was talking about this from Dev2. So I will turn it over to Michael Tharrington to talk about this and how you can get involved with Dev2, because I know a lot of people will be watching this video after the fact on YouTube and they're like, Dev2, 1 million developers, hell yes, how can I get involved into that community? So Michael, if you want to just come up to the stage, you're already here, and say a few words.
All right. Yeah, I'll briefly talk about Dev2. Like Blake said, it's a giant network of developers. Excuse me. Sorry, my voice is failing me now. But it's basically a big website where developers can go and they can write articles and write about what they're learning and share these articles with other developers. As far as events go, this month we have a celebration called She Coded, or Nevertheless She Coded is the full title. And it's basically during the month of March each year, the dev community collects stories from women in software development and their allies across the gender spectrum to honor International Women's Day. We invite members to write a post about their experiences in tech as women and gender nonconforming individuals. Male allies are also welcome to write a post for the celebration, sharing their commitments to closing the gender gap in tech and making our industry welcoming for everyone. On March 8th, we're going to be highlighting She Coded stories in honor of International Women's Day. So please, if you want to post, try and post before March 8th, but also realize that we celebrate this all year. It's totally fine to post under the She Coded tag whenever it suits you. But also, if you will post this March, Dev is going to be donating $10 for every post to Girls Who Code for every She Coded story. And so we really encourage you to post as soon as you can. outside of She Coded, we also have just opened up our CFP for Codeland. Codeland is a big conference that we host through our other community called Code Newbie, and it takes place on June 16th and 17th. And if you want to write or want to speak at this conference, I'd really encourage you to send in the CFP. I believe Ella is going to be dropping some information about where to go to do this in the chat, so just look out for that. But yeah, these are our big event right now is She Coded, but go ahead and send in those CFPs. We'd love to have you speak at Codeland. So, and if anybody has any questions, just ask away. We're happy to help and answer. So yeah, 2 exciting events.
And then just for anybody else that's sitting out there is like, hey, how do we work with Dev 2? Like we're in the developer community space, we're a DevRel, Dev Advocate. What are the ways, just kind of real quick, in terms of that they can get in touch with you? Are you on TikTok? Or you got an email? Then where should people do? What are some of the cool things?
Yeah, thanks, Blake. If you want to get in touch with me personally, you can write me at michael@dev.to. You can also write in to just us in general at yo@dev2 and ask us anything. My team manages that inbox, and we're definitely going to see your emails and respond to you. And if you want to partner with us as like a sponsor or for the conference or something like that, you can also hit us up at yo@dev.to, and we will forward you to the correct team members. So please do get in touch. If you're just someone that's new in the community industry and you want to talk with me about, what it's like being a community manager for a really large developer community, I'm happy to discuss that with you. So please don't hesitate to write us and get in touch, and I'll be happy to talk with you. But also as an organization, we'll be happy to work with you and to let you know more about Dev2.
Oh yeah, so that's really awesome. So we can throw that into the thing. Very cool to do that. And I did have like a surprise guest, but they are stuck on a call at work. So I had Daniel Story was going to crash and say a few words to Michael. He's one of the amazing comics artists out in the dev space. Turnoff.us. So he's stuck on a call at work. So, but that's the life in software development for sure. But we're thinking of you, Daniel's Story. So love your comics. So.
Daniel
We're going to say they're stuck in traffic. I was just thinking, stuck in traffic. That is just, so 2020. That was
exactly.
That would be something new, in this day and time.
Yes. All right. Thanks for that, Michael. So Dev 2, and thanks, Ella, for getting all that stuff in. For anybody watching, you got all the stuff, information. Up next, we've got Lori. Who's going to talk about our March metrics madness and what's going on in Denver. And so, Lori, feel free to take the stage with Pixie.
Hi. Hey again. We're going to do a really neat roundtable in March. We're going to talk about different metrics, our interpretations of them, when to use them, what's applicable, when to stop using them. And we're going to be speaking to a lot of local folks. So we're really excited about it. I myself am kind of a data geek. So this is really making my heart go pitter pat. And we would love to have folks come and chime in too. It won't be just, us presenting. Other folks will have a chance to speak up too. So please ping me if you want to be involved and have things that you'd like us to talk about. Let us know.
And then Lori, so if people saying March metrics madness, what is this about? What would you tell them?
Well, it is about measuring your community and making sure that your community is healthy and understands, and that you have a good understanding of your community. Sorry, I'm not as articulate as I'd like to be right now. But this is something that everybody at CMX does. I think that metrics are, vital to the health of a community. And I just am excited about metrics and using data to tell stories. So everybody at CMX events is doing something for March, and we're looking forward to being part of that.
Awesome. Thanks for that. And so we don't have any metrics on the Las Vegas side, but we're meta. So so we can't do anything, but we're previewing it. So we kind of get something. So we're everybody there for March Metrics Madness. We've got the link to Lori into the chat. You can also just find everything at CMX, events.cmxhub.com. Go check it out. Lots of amazing stuff there. You see the March Metrics Madness, learn all about this stuff. And just the Denver chapter in general. They're always, I think, with Cassie as well, always doing amazing stuff there.
Yes, and we have a new co-host in addition to me, and her name is Jody Meyer, and we're going to be really trying to invigorate the Denver chapter and make it as valuable as possible for folks. So we're excited about this fresh start.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Well, anytime. And looking forward to having you at ours too.
Yeah. We got some amazing, anybody on the stage today is always an amazing speaker that you can book. I'm their agent, so just reach out to me. I get a 20% commission anywhere that they present. So just
that is a great deal. That is a great deal.
All right, so I'll go back to our events really quickly here. So one other event, just to kind of note, I'll be sharing my screen again. Hopefully this works better than last time. But Jamie Johnson, who does the CMX Connect Book Club, is going to be with the CEO of Meetup, David Siegel. And so he's got a book coming out on March 8th called Decide and Conquer. But here's the cool thing. They haven't really started promoting it yet. And so why I'm like telling you that, the first 75 RSVPs will get a free copy of the book, right? So not only do you get to attend this event that Jamie has coming up, if you're one of the first 75 RSVPs, you will get a free copy of the book. We'll try to put a link to that into the chat. So that's going to be a really, really cool one. And then up next, we've got Ilker to talk about, we're working on a CMX St. Patrick's Day event. There's always a cool CMX event at the end of a rainbow. There's always a pot of gold at the end of a CMX Connect event.
This is something that we've been talking about, and I'm going to be letting the cat out of the bag literally immediately. That March the 17th is also one certain Blakey's birthday. So of course it has a great meaning, and it is celebrated around the world as St. Patrick's Day, which is obviously a big holiday, big festival in Ireland. So obviously we just wanted to celebrate this in style. There have been a lot of things that we actually wanted to do. Some of these things we've managed to organize, and some of the others we'll just have to live to fight for another day. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to have an event where we're going to be talking about fun, which is what this day is about. And of course, we are going to be holding a day where we are going to be talking about fun and community, and using fun and using things like memes and other things at communities which are so prevalent in developer communities, as Michael would concur, how we can actually use those and how we can actually implement those in our communities, so that the communities are not, let's say, stiff or not places where fun is not allowed, and just how to channel it so that the community stays vibrant, stays a lovely place, stays a nice place, and how you can actually dose it correctly so that it just doesn't go overboard. So of course, fun is something that is always fun to talk about, but it can be something very serious, a very serious tool in any community manager's box to be able to, let's say, ensure the community's longevity. So these are the things that we're going to be talking about. So of course, aside being Blake's birthday, which is the most amazing thing, it's going to be a great subject, hopefully, that will be of interest to anyone who will take part. So over to you, Blakey.
All right, yeah, so we'll keep going. And so as soon as that link comes out, we'll definitely be free to share all the usual places: Twitter, LinkedIn, and CMX Slack. If you're not in CMX Slack, definitely worth getting into. Just some of the more events going on this month. So I was talking to Carla over at Container Solutions. Do a lot of amazing stuff over there at Container Solutions. Carla does a lot of amazing stuff with CNCF, if you know her. So Carla wanted me to spike out a taste of WTF as SRE. They're going to have Andrew Martin in with some live demo that's going on March 17th. I'll put a link to that into chat. And then talking to Nimrod over at the Daily Dev team, they're doing a meetup at the end of this month. So they're going to have the CEO of Docker there, Scott Johnson, with Idan from Velocity and Shaul from Armo. So those are some other pretty cool events going on this month. We'll put a link to that into the chat. And then up next, so one kind of just interesting kind of surprise here is that in your community life, right, you might not always work for like the same company, you might move on, right? And so over time, like any one community could have several generations, just like in a family, you've got like brothers, sisters, uncles, nieces, great grandchildren. And so communities now, for a lot of them, I mean, it doesn't feel like maybe community's been around forever, but we're seeing where companies have like generations of people that are a part of them. So we actually are doing a quick, for this special thing today, a quick BMC Software Community Reunion. So we've got several generations of people that have worked on BMC Software. So we're going to have them all up onto the stage, bring them up here with us today. If I miss you or anything, just put you into the chat. We've had so many amazing people over the years, and Matt Laurentia, like when I left there, has just done amazing work, and it's really amazing to see what Matt has really transformed that community into. Post when I was there with working with David File and everybody at that time, and even like then at Jive and things like that. So let me just quickly stop sharing, and we'll do a quick community reunion. So I don't know, this feels like a weird like reality TV show, but we will get them all up here with us. So I get Annabon. I don't think Matt's anywhere on here, so that's fine. And there's Annabon. And just be sure to take your mic off. I don't see Vin on here, but I will just double check if he's on the other thing. Okay, so am I missing anybody, Annabon?
That's pretty much it. Yourself, Blake.
This is our group today, so this is amazing. So yeah, so I guess Annabon, I'll let you kick it off if you want to talk a little bit about BMC communities, and then just feel free, each of you, to kind of go around. So we've got literally like huge amount of team at different times. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, involvement in BMC software, and what you're up to today.
Okay, I guess I took it off from you, Blake. And did we have the term community management then, or was it like admin and more like admin stuff?
I mean, we pretty much had to do everything there, because like when I started, it was just basically me and David File, one developer. David's like the most amazing. He's like an army of people. Annabon then was like one of the early ones as well. Yeah, pretty much we were talking community, things like that, but we were like in the Jive clear space days, right? Before it became Boros and all this.
Yeah. So this was, I believe, 2008-9 timeframe. Yeah. And Blake had documented everything down to the T, right? All the use case you can think about, spam attacks, super users, newbies, everything documented to the T, APIs, what to receive, what not, right? So he made it, he early on, he established the importance of documentation as a community manager and not leave anything to chance. And then I think Matt Lawrence, who was from product marketing, he had just moved over to community. So yeah, and Matt and I, we could rally together and really expand on the user journeys and document a lot of these. So it was fun. And then after BMC, there was a 7-year ride. I took a break from community management, not by choice. and I was into traditional IT delivery and project management, and gone into the world of agile and things like that. And then back to community in customer success with Gainsight, the customer success company, and really having a ball. Our CEO Nick ensures that we have fun every day. Yeah, there's something new. Yeah, so those were the days. I left in 2015, and I think that was at the time, Bishoujita, you joined, or
And
a
Anabad,
little while.
you're at Gainsight though today, right?
That's right. Yeah,
One
yeah.
of, one of the big companies. So shout out to Gainsight. Everybody, so many people use it. So no, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a small ecosystem. Yeah, I had a shout out from Michele Floriani that we are both inside it and Gainsight customers, and now it's all coming together. It's a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah, and with Mikkel is interesting. So we started off just like community started off like in the partner organization, but not like the entire partner. Just one small part of it that community was like owned. Once we got successful, then IT marketing took us over, and then Mikkel, I forget how to say his name. Then he was like the boss that rolled up to the VP. So yeah, that's
David
amazing.
Green. Yeah.
Okay, up next, who wants to go? I can't hear you. Can't hear. It looks like Kanaz trying to speak, but we can't hear him.
Yeah.
Is it okay now?
Yep, we got you.
Okay. So yeah, there was a gap between the time Anirban left and I joined. I joined in 2019, Matt's team. It was a huge transition for me, considering I was only handling B2C communities before, so I had no clue how B2B communities work, how the community members are, because the way they work, the way they should be handled, it's quite different. Initially, I didn't think I would make it, but Matt was super patient with me. He taught me so many things that I would use throughout my life. He made me a better person, better professional, better community manager. I didn't stay for long. I was just there for 2 years. But the kind of transition and career progression that I got personally, it's unimaginable. I didn't want to leave BMC community at all in my life, but I had to make a choice. I planned to move to Canada. I moved here to do my postgrad, just to understand different facets of business. I did a brand marketing postgrad, and now I'm working with this brand called Envision. I just joined. It's been 2 months. Starting everything from ground up, the community work. It's going great, but I still miss the days at BMC. Matt and everyone, the team is terrific. Yeah, couldn't say more about it. I'm so grateful for the time I've been with BMC and the people that I've met and the learnings that I would be grateful throughout my life. Yeah, and then Bishoujita continued after me. She just joined last year. Handing over to her. You're on mute again, I guess.
Yeah, keep going, keep talking. And then in the audio, just make sure you get the right microphone selected. So if you click, there's a little up arrow by the audio. Like there's a little up arrow, and then just make sure it's like connected to the right. Select a microphone and just make sure it's selected there.
Is that better?
Yeah, we got you. We're good. We hear you. You're good.
I just wanted to thanks. Okay. So I just wanted to
give a shout out to all of you because of your foundational work. Right now, I'm chilling a lot, but yes, there is there is one thing that I want to speak about is we did a huge migration from Jive to Salesforce in 2020.
Wow.
2020. So and we are still doing the documentations and doing the onboarding program, starting the engagement plans from scratch. So yes, I think I'm going to go to you, Blake, next. I'm sorry, I mean, I the pronunciation is still in my head, so I'm gonna say Blake even now. So yeah, so right now we are like mostly we are doing this onboarding program, and then mostly we are going to start the engagement program plus the community experience program, because there were a lot of things in Jive that we could not actually migrate, so we have to do custom development in Salesforce. So yeah, that is like a huge project that is for the next financial year. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of challenges in my day-to-day work. That is something that I love about community management. No 2 days are the same. And yes, Matt has been a wonderful guide and a mentor for us. And we are a lean and thin team of only you know 3 people, and two people joined just recently. And yeah, we are trying to delegate everything to them now. And yeah, hopefully it's gonna be all good, just like the Jive days, very soon. So yeah. Yeah, thank you so much.
One thing I want to add to Bishoujita is it's so incredible the kind of work that we do for a global community with such a small team. Even when I was
True.
there, we are just a team of 3 members. So prior to BMC community, every team that I was working for, we used to have a country specific or a region specific community team of not less than 3 to 5 members handling different aspects of community. But here it's so small, and still we are able to deliver exceptional work without burning out, which
That is so
it's
true.
rare.
Yeah.
Community management, we always burn out, but Matt handle things in such a well proper way that he gets burnt out, which looking at which I felt bad so many times, but the kind of support that he gives, and especially talking about
Yeah.
Jive to Salesforce migration, it happened during the time I was there. Apart from the learning that made me a better person, the transition, I got to learn a lot. I have never been into a migration before, so that was a huge learning on how to work with the different internal and external stakeholders, how to handle the project. And the issues are there forever. They're there even right now, which is what Bishoujita is trying to fix. But it's a huge learning. Couldn't
That's
thank
correct.
enough to the whole team of BMC, the ones who left earlier and the ones who are continuing the legacy even right now.
And just to kind
Thank
of
you
just
so much.
make sure on the context here, so we've got from 2008 to 2000 and 2022, several different generations of us that all are like alumni of working on the BMC software community. So you got
Not
me
me.
and Anirban back from like the early days, then up to Kana, hopefully say your name right,
Yes.
and then Bashwadi, hopefully say that right, for today. So we got several different generations, a community reunion show, only type of a magic that you will see like on CMX Connect Las Vegas. And also just a shout out to Ben Jones. They didn't look like they could make it here today. So Ben was actually like on the support side of Jive software back in the day. And so it's really critical. As a small team, we had to really leverage them for a lot of the stuff, because it was, when I was there, it was pretty much just me and David File initially. And we had to do like everything for all the different teams. So it was pretty much amazing. And then it was great when we had Anibon and started to bring in so many of the teams. And there's been people coming and going over the years, but it's just amazing to see, especially the There's nothing more proof that when you leave somewhere, you want that community to still be thriving. And it's just so great feeling when you can go and look and it's still there, it's vibrant. So just a shout out to Matt, Anibon, Kana, and Bishoujita for keeping that going over the years. And it's great that I think a lot of us had like a Spider-Man moment there. Like there's some universal things with community managers, right? And working in this profession. No 2 days are the same, burnout, all this like amazing stuff. So we'll do a quick wave just so that we can do a quick selfie. So sorry. So we can just save this moment in time, put it into a time capsule virtually. So your hands waving up so we can do this. Look at the camera, say cheese, say mother may I, say Ilker hello, say hello, hello, hello. All right, so we got that here today. Any other final thoughts? Take it out. Ilker, any questions for us while we're up here? Michael, any questions for us while you got us all up here? Do we have any questions?
Amazing to listen to the stories and what a wonderful collection of memories. So that's just great.
All right.
I don't have a question, just a comment. I thought it was really cool how you said that when, as a community manager, when you're leaving your community, you really want to leave it in a good shape, because obviously you build all these relationships with the people in it, and you want to, make the job easier for the next person coming in, of course, too. But I think that's something that's common in community folks, is that we're like, for the most part, pretty empathetic and pretty caring of people. So that was a cool statement, and it also just reminded me that I managed a community and left it, and you came in to manage the community that I left at one point. So I hope I left it tidy enough and okay enough for you.
Yeah, so over at D Zone, so I was like, so Michael was community before I was there, so we kind of have like a reunion within a reunion within a reunion almost here going on. So we're very meta today, right? So I'm after Michael, so and we got so it's just amazing, this whole profession and things like this. And so we just building the foundations. We want it to succeed and thrive as we move on. So it's great when we do it and we find out a lot of these universal things that apply to all of us. So just if you're somewhere issues, things like that, there's probably someone else that are going through the same thing. So you're not alone. All of us around, if you ever want to jump onto a Calendly meeting, we're always like the constant student too. So always learning, doesn't matter how 10 decades, whatever it is, like no 2 days are the same. So we're always on the clock. We're always learning. So don't feel like that's a barrier. So whatever your experience is, that's amazing. And whatever you bring to it, I mean, if you're here, you're doing something right for sure.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah.
Yes.
If I mention one,
yes, sir. Go ahead.
Blake. What I carry forward now, I caught up with Kanna yesterday, is this alignment as a community manager to be the customer champion, and sometimes having to have good battles, because you're also taking on yourself to change the culture. So you're always up against, more so as a community manager, that things have happened a certain way. No, we need to log down on permissions, and we need to log down system of records, and to open that up and to have that, barrage of customer in alignment. It's an exciting battle always to be in. And I carry that from you and from Matt, and I'll always carry that.
Yeah, so amazing. Just in all these years later, it's like we still keep in touch. So it's just like from one community to the next, keeping in touch with the teams, keeping in touch with the community members. So it's just like when your heart's in the right place, things like that, you definitely have it. It's kind of like when you have like a baby Yoda and you can just have this really kind of cool community Zen moment there. So thanks for that, Anibon. Just some amazing thoughts. Great to see you at Gainsight. And for the others that I haven't met, just congratulations on getting at Envision, and then Bishwat. Definitely almost said my name right. I'm Block A, also known as Blake, but it's more of a Key and Peele joke than anything else. It's like a comedy show, so everybody calls me Block A. So if I'm at Starbucks and they say Blake, I get a million Block A. So it's kind of interesting, things like that. But amazing to see y'all here today. So thanks for joining. And then we're going to take it back over and just keep going with some other exciting community news. And then if you're still around, we'll bring you up at the end.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are moving on here. So next, we're going to be giving away a CMX swag bag. So if you want, all right, 1 second here. Trying to do too many things at once. All right, so who wants a CMX swag bag? Anybody want a CMX swag bag? Put it into chat. Okay. No, we are still going. We got some other updates with books and podcasts, things like that. So let me just come over to, so we've got CMX swag bag, Bishwate. Does anybody else want it? Lori wants it as well. So we got two people, Bishwate. Anybody else that wants it? We've got, looks like a face-off between Lori and Bishwate. Oh, and Nick. Nick is fresh off his other one, wants it as well. All right. So Bishwate, Bishwate, Nick, and Lori. So I'm trying to remember all this stuff. I've got a good memorization. All right. Really quick. So B, Lori, Nick, and let me check. Am I missing anybody, or we got everybody here that wants it? Okay. You said Ilkin. Okay. So to do all this at once. Anderbon wants one. Okay. All right. So keep it going. So without further ado. Oh my God. I think, yeah, Nick's winning everything today. All right. So my goodness. What is going on? Nick has hacked Wheel of Names, apparently. All right, so moving on, just some more quick updates here. So stick around, things like that. All right, so we just did our quick our swag bag giveaway. So Nick is a 2-time winner today. Amazing stuff there. We have one more giveaway. We're got a CMX one more giveaway at David Spink's books. And just coming really quickly over to our books, right? So the books that are coming out this month for community professionals are one to read. So the one I just quickly mentioned, which we talked about earlier, Decide and Conquer, comes out March 8th from the CEO of Meetup. So he's talking about there's, access to the decision framework David Siegel used when he took over as CEO of Meetup, the world's leading platform for making connections and finding your community. So if you're running events, and things like that, it's probably a really interesting look. Jamie's running the book club next month. So this is pretty much the book that I will put onto your dial. It's out March 8th. Some of the worldwide dates might differ. And then Ilker has some books that they want to recommend, books with a B.
The standard, or let's say, just some of the main books that are usually recommended. Obviously, we have the Business of Belonging by David Spinks and John O'Bacon. If you don't know him, he's a British guy living in the US now. He's been one of the biggest community influencers, especially in the developer community world, and of course in the open source movement as well. So his latest book is People Powered. That's also available. One of the cool things is if you go to John O'Bacon's website, johnobacon.com, his first book is available for download for free. So we have Karen Melissa Jones. If you're into brand communities, so building brand communities is one of the greatest books out there. And of course, another Brit, Richard Millington, is the founder of Feverbee. His latest book, Builder Community, is very much recommended. And of course, a book that we've talked about. Blake loves this one, is The Developer Relations, How to Build and Grow a Successful Developer Program. So these are some books. If you've never read them, if you've never come across them, these are the books that we heartily recommend, and definitely they're worth checking out.
And then our final giveaway is going to be for a free David Spinks book. So if you're a community professional and you really want to learn about community, this book's amazing. So as Seth Godin said, the author of This Is Marketing, a tactical primer for any business embarking on the critical work of actively building community. So if you want this book, put your name over into chat, except for Nick. No, I'm kidding. Anybody could be a part of this. So if you don't have this book, just let us know in chat. We're going to do a quick wheel of names for it. So Nick is good. Nick is actually out on this one. So anybody want this book, put your name into chat. Do you want a free? Ilkin says yes. Anibron says LOL. So we'll just go ahead with the existing screen. So let's do that. So with the existing people, wheel of names, here we go. So let's see. Nick says he's out. Are we ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, all right. So then our current community manager over at BMC won it. They were out, but we will reach out to them that they won the book. Very cool. So congratulations to them. They left at the wrong time, but we'll be sure to reach out to Bishoujita to let them know that that's going on. And then kind of like moving on really quickly, we're going way over time today. So thanks for bearing with us. Our community topic of the month, just for what we're doing today. We'll talk quickly about it. Anyone's going to be doing it. I just want to cover our podcast actually really quick since we're over. So I'll just quickly run through some podcasts and I'll back up to our topic of the month. But just some podcasts to check out this month. So In Before the Lock, amazing podcast from Brian and Erica. They've got a really cool one on dev communities. So look that up. You can Google it, just In Before the Lock. There's some other community that's not them. It's the In Before the Lock podcast. Their latest one's on dev community. It's amazing. And then Chris Detzel over at Peers Over Beers has a really good podcast up with Nicole Sanders. So check that one out. And then Ilker had 3 podcasts that they wanted to recommend.
Again, if you've never come across them, David actually has a regular Masters of Community event. So these names are the latest and greatest of hosts, of guests, sorry. And we have Community Corner with that is fantastic because it's about 15 minutes to 20 minutes. I even took part in it, and it's just great. It's just a good podcast to start your day, or just to listen in between, in a short amount of time in between 2 arrangements that you may have. And one of the most intriguing ones that I've come across lately was the podcast of Community Signal by Patrick O'Keefe, where Jacob Silverman was the guest, and they talked about Web3, which is one of the most hotly contested things in the community world. Is it a community? Is it an arrangement? Is it a subcontracting arrangement? Are they contractors? Are they owners? What are they? So those are the questions that were sort of asked and answered. So if you really like to know more know more about these things, definitely these are worth checking out.
All right, thanks for that, Ilker. And so we're just going to close out with a community topic today. So one of the ones we really wanted to spike out. So David Spinks, co-founder of CMX, VP at Bevy, author of The Business Belonging, just posted this week. So let's talk a little bit about this. We'll go around. If you're in the chat, we can bring you up to stage, get Lori, Michael, Ilker to think about this as well. So David Spinks says, to be a great community builder, you have to shift your mindset from creating content that people connect with to creating content that connects people to each other. It's subtle but powerful. Always ask, how will this content help our members connect to each other? So just a really amazing thing. Drop David a follow on Twitter or on LinkedIn, easy to find. things like that. So what do you think, Lori, Michael, Ilker? Let's get it going. And then if you're in chat, want to come up and talk about it, we can go there. So.
I completely agree with this comment. I think otherwise you're just throwing stuff against the wall. And I think that it's very easy to get into that pattern when you're running a community. I also think it's about value. It's always about value. And I think he just kind of hit the nail on the head with that. It's very profound and I'm still processing it.
Awesome. Thanks, Lori. And then Michael, no pressure. Any
Cool.
thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think I got something. I'm a community manager for dev.to, and I am not a developer, so keep it quiet. But I think like what I found is that I'm not going to be the one to create the coolest post that's going to educate everybody on some topic. My knowledge about development is an inch deep and a mile wide. But what I can do is I can create discussion posts and topics that will hopefully interest other people. I can lean on my team and make sure that I'm not going to make something up that's just totally out there. But creating discussion posts on dev is a good way to spur conversation between individuals. And if you go to dev.to, you'll notice that we pin a number of tags down the right-hand side of the page, and discussions are right near the top. It's something that's really important to our community to just spur conversation between different individuals in the community. So I think like creating just a short post with like a question or something to get people talking is as a community manager an important skill to have. And it does connect other people. And then as these conversations are happening, if you know someone in the community who is an expert or who likes talking about this topic, don't be afraid to like pull them in or to mention them, ask them what they think. You know, folks generally appreciate that. So I think as a community manager, yeah, just almost like kind of being like an intermediary and like a matchmaker, connecting folks up, starting some conversations is a really good thing, a really good skill to have.
Absolutely brilliant. And Ilker, any thoughts that you have? I'm sure you have some.
I think what's been said is just great, and just wanted to add that in my opinion, loosely connected to what I just said about the the podcast and especially the final one. We just grew up, let's say, in the community world and cut our teeth in the understanding that the community is there to help each other, and we're just here to remove the roadblocks in front of people for them to do so. So obviously, focusing on content, it actually sort of starts getting us away from that. So therefore, it's important for us to focus what community stands for in our own understanding, anyway. So again, the concept of community will shift, will change, will evolve over time, but it will be all about the members. Whatever happens. So therefore, as long as we provide value, or we provide an environment, an ecosystem, a platform for people to create value for each other, that will be, the right thing to do, in my opinion.
All right, now Nick, I brought you up to stage, so if you have any thoughts, you can share it as well. If Nick has left the building, that's fine.
Hey, it's Lori.
Yeah.
Pablo Gonzalez had a really great post, Blake, in the last month that's really stuck with me about community not being about the individual, but it being about making those connections between people. I'm just like frantically searching for it on LinkedIn. And I thought, my God, that's it. It's not about the individual. It was how he said it. I'm going to find it and I'll post it here. But I just thought maybe because I think everybody here is kind of familiar with Pablo. If anybody remembers it off the top of their head, I'm going to go find it. But I just thought I'd mention it.
All right. And then Nick, any thoughts?
I just appreciate being here today. My big thought was that I love the books. I'm relatively new in the developer advocate position that I'm in at Rollbar. And so I got a lot to learn, and this has been very helpful. And I'm definitely going to read some of those books, get some of those books and read them. I didn't put in for the book win because I figured my company would buy the book for me. So
Awesome. Great to see you. And then Anirban, any thoughts from you?
Oh yeah, public, private. I have to do this every day, and as community manager, sometimes we have to seed content to make conversations happen, and yeah, whatever it takes to get the right people talking and the quality of content to go up. Yeah.
That's awesome. And what time is it where you are right now?
It's 8:45.
Wow, on a Friday night. Wow, that's amazing.
I got another meeting coming up. I'm pumped. Yeah, it's
a meeting night on a Friday night. Oh my goodness, that's the
yeah,
life
it's not,
of community right there.
I'm excited to have that meeting after this. Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's good thoughts. And then Ella, any thoughts from you?
Yo, I don't have anything to add that's not really being said, you know? I'm not going to just answer what everybody else has said for the sake of it. So I bow to the pros that came before me.
Very cool. And then while we have everybody up here, anything else you're excited about going on with community? Any thoughts, anything we want to shout out? Anything you're excited about?
We're excited about every day, right? We're always excited. We're always hype about what we do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I need my own little Kool-Aid guy to pull out. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like you see this thing and you're like, hey, this will work on a podcast just randomly. Oh yeah. But not everybody knows Kool-Aid Man. So I'm apparently really dating myself to be some ancient person. I went out and got this new Dos Hombres mezcal that Brian Cranston, Aaron Paul did, and everybody in front of me in line at Total Wines got carded with driver's license in order to get it. I get up, they didn't even ask me for my driver's license. So I'm like, I'm officially getting older now. So it's amazing. But so Kool-Aid Man, you can look him up on YouTube. A big guy, red guy that bursts through the wall and goes, oh yeah. So there you go. And then Lori's still looking for the Pablo post, things like that. But it's just amazing. We're seeing community professionals from basically decades in the making here. We've got one of the people from one of the largest communities in the world right now on planet Earth, and Dev 2 or Dev. I always say Dev 2. I don't even know if that's right. Just the same way when people say Block A, is that right? And Ilker also has an amazing video rocking out to the Doobie Brothers. What a Fool Believes. So you can look that up on YouTube. They do they did in Turkey, they do Battle of the Bands or something, right? Between the companies. Is that
2018 when we were all in the Middle Ages? No, it was basically it was a time where when I was working at Cisco, and there's this contest in Turkey about people being in an office but they've never been rock stars. Even though I've been a semi-pro musician for over 20 years, but I just sort of gathered the people around, and then we just went into this sort of national competition of office bands, so to speak. I'm sure similar things, similar initiatives happen in other countries around the world. And then we came fourth of many bands nationally. One of the things when you asked me about when you were asking about the things that excite us about the community is with some new technology. This is one thing that we can all sort of watch the space for. The new technology is actually enabling us to connect even further. So one of the biggest problems that we had as musicians when we were performing, when we were rehearsing remotely, was basically the latency. I'm just talking to you, but my voice is actually arriving to you a second or something like that later, depending on where you are in the world. But especially with the new 5G technology and a few other things that they're working on, this latency is now being sort of diminished to a state where it's not that relevant anymore. So now there are so many communities of musicians, for example, or people sort of training to be musicians, maybe professional musicians, some orchestras as well. They're now able to rehearse, and they're now able to produce stuff together, which is going to obviously warrant for, surprise, surprise, the community. So those are the things that we should all be watching out for. You know, these are just the things that are being created with some new technologies coming up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And one other cool like book I forgot to even mention was like Bob Odenkirk has a new book, Comedy, Drama. So if you just want some counter programming, he was like in improv up in Chicago with Chris Farley and all those people. But just if you need some counter programming, definitely go and check out that book, things like that. And then Ella, while you're up here, anything cool going on in the Atlanta forum or anything else that you want to shout out? Ella's one of the coolest people working in community. She gets to work with Michael every day. So anything you want to shout out before we wrap up today, Ella? No pressure. On mute. On mute. Can you hear me now? Oh man. So it's the button on the left. There should be like mute, unmute. So just put that on the bottom bar. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. So my connection's being all over the place right now. So yeah, that's what I was saying. It was like, oh, you probably can't even hear me because you can't see me and I can't see you. My current thing that I'm really excited about is I'm just like super pumped about Codeland. It's not a specifically forum initiative. Like it's definitely something that we do with Dev and Code Newbie to like really psych up with it from about now. And it will just like keep on being like dead exciting, moving all the way up to the conference. So if anybody even just has like a fleeting interest in coding, in development, if you are a non-technical community manager working with technical communities, it's a great place to connect with other code curious people and to kind of polish up on some of those like soft skills that we may feel like we focus on in our jobs, but don't get highlighted as much at other developer conferences. So it's a really cool opportunity for us as non-technical dev adjacent people to feel like we go to a coding conference.
That's amazing. And where are you based out of? Because we have Ilko from Turkey, Michael from the country of trees, North Carolina, Nick from Philadelphia. I'm a Cowboys fan. He's an Eagles fan. We get along. Hey, we're in community. Anirban in India, Lori in Denver, Colorado area. Where are you from? Where are you at, Ella?
I'm over here in the west of France.
Look how global we are. Man. Isn't this amazing on a Friday? We're all here together. Hopefully everybody's going to connect on LinkedIn. France is amazing.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, and I love like just like how y'all are like giving back, you know, and making initiatives. So a lot of companies have values like we do this, and you see the press release, and then it's really great just to see that what Dev Community and Forum is actually putting into practice with like She Coded and the other stuff, where it's not just what you're saying, but you're living those values. You're trying to build a community, but also trying to make a difference in the world and make it better for the people coming up. Because that's one of the big things at CMX. It's like, how do we make it better for future professionals of community managers, right? Community profession is so hot now, but it's because of all of us, right? If we're out there doing awesome, all of us are going to see pay raises. We're all going to get free yachts like Anirban, so we can just go off to Ibiza or whatever we want to do. But we all make it better, like right? So even if we don't see that, there is competition, things like that. But all the work that each of you are doing today is making it easier and better for that next person or underrepresented groups and other people from around the world as we're bringing them into our community, into our lives. And even like I just wanted to say too, is like not only in terms of the profession, but all the community members, right? So oftentimes when we see with community members that we're active with, it can change their life. Where literally for me and for others, like when they get involved with us, and especially like in remote times now, it's like this is like a lifeline in some ways where people get involved and you can have a profound impact that completely changes their life. It can be a life-changing moment to be a member of a community. We see it from the business side, but just take a moment. You're actually helping people out personally as well. And so it's just really great, just the profound impact. There's the business side, but just amazing stuff there. But we will also be putting out clips of everything today, short clips, so you can get that because there's just so much news. So if we are like a 30-minute news format, first time trying to do this, we failed miserably if we try to do it 30 minutes. Apologies for the technical difficulties starting late with the coffee, but just a huge thanks for everything there. We've got an amazing event with St. Patrick's Day coming up. We'll have a meme crash course. We'll have some live singing. We'll have an Irish dance contest. I think me and Ilka are already getting ready for doing some river dancing, things like that. Whatever, we'll have to figure out. No, Ilka's like, no, I'm not doing river dancing. But yeah, so we've got a really fun St. Patrick's Day event coming up. Meme crash course. If you want to be teaching in our meme crash course, let us know, reach out to us. And then if you're here today, we'll be putting this into Descript, some micro clips, thing like that. Feel free to reach out to everybody here, from Michael Tharrington. Amazing to have you here. Lori Goldman, just amazing. You're out there active. Ella, coolest name of like all time. Ella over at Forum, Dev Community. Nick Hodges, that I know for previous job. Michael's came after. Anirban for like decades of knowing him, bringing all the BMC software community. And then with Ilker. But I'll actually and then just say a quick thank you to Beth, who makes all of this happen over at CMX. # give Beth a raise. Ilker, I will let you actually take us out today. Any thoughts of wisdom? Ilker is just like one of the most amazing people. Helps me with ideas, things that we're working on. Always supportive if I have a question. He's always reaching out, helping other people, that complete strangers in the space, and just kind of embodies what a community professional is. Helps so many people from around the world. Ilker, what a fool believes, what a community manager believes. Just thank you for all that you do here. For all of you, Ilker, I will let you take us out today. And everybody, please have a great weekend. The floor is yours, Ilker.
At one point, you were going to ask me to start singing, which would be disastrous for everyone. But thank you for the words, and I think they're even more valuable when they're not let's say they just come out of the blue. But obviously, same goes for Blake. I mean, this is his initiative, and of course, the Las Vegas, some flamboyant news coming in. So hopefully you liked it, and hopefully you'll just give us some pressure so that we can do some more of these news. I think it's important that we were just talking about it earlier. One of the biggest problems that there is with community managers is a little bit of a burnout and other things that we're all experiencing, because we're also all very selfless humans just trying to serve our communities. But one of the most important things is for us to be able to support each other, and we hope that this tiny event is just a part of that that big thing. So thanks for turning up. Thanks for listening to us, talking about new things. So obviously it can go just one way from here. It can go better. So the things that you would like to see in future editions of the news, its frequency, the things that you would like to talk about. Just having guests has meant the world to us. So thank you all for coming in, and of course, just talking and contributing to this event. So again, not much to say, because we talked a lot about some really, really cool things on these very unusual times, some harrowing times for many of us. And I think just like before, but we didn't know it, community was always the key for us to support each other and get ourselves out of these sort of situations, or manage them for us and for people around us. So on that, hopefully a little bit of a more positive note, we wish you a fantastic Friday if the day is starting for you all, and if it's ending, just like for Anirban and me, a fantastic and wonderful weekend, and we hope to see you soon in the next edition of the news.